Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another Marvel Legends Top 10 figures, and this is of 2023. And, just some, rules for the list. Basically, I'm reviewing a bunch of figures that I got this year. They don't have to be figures that released this year, just ones that I got in general. And also, I should also mention that I haven't reviewed all of these ones yet, so there are some on here that I've not done reviews for. So, anyway, let's just start by going into the honorable mentions. Now, I did just want to briefly mention Marvel Select figures because they are still Marvel figures that I do collect every so often, and there was one that I did get this year that I did just want to bring up. It's the Marvel Select Beta Ray Bill. I do love the figure, and he is a great figure. He has lost a couple parts, like there are some things I had to glue back onto him, and I did like him a lot, and he's nice and big and weighty, but I just didn't really like him enough, and also he's the only one that wasn't a Marvel Legends, so I did want to mention him here, but he just didn't get on the list because he's not a Marvel Legends figure. If he was in the list, he'd probably be around like number 7. Now getting into the actual Marvel Legends honorable mentions here, we have the Marvel Legends Superior Iron Man Doctor Doom figure, the Spider-Man Noir from the Lizard Build-A-Figure Wave, Lasher from the Lizard Build-A-Figure Wave, and the Atuma Build-A-Figure Wave's White Wolf or whatever. I like the White Wolf figure, and as you can see, I've added a couple things on him to make him look a little bit more tactical, a little more closer to the comics, like his army soldiers. And the Lasher and Noir, I do like the figures, even though they're a little older, but I mostly just needed them to finish the Lizard, and I do like them, so I just wanted to bring them up. And then the Superior Iron Man, I only bought this year because I have a big interest in both Iron Man and Doctor Doom, so that was just a figure I finally was able to buy for pretty cheap. But anyway, now let's get into number 10. Now, this one might come as a little bit of an oddball to some people, but this is the Guardians of the Galaxy Mantis Build-A-Figure Waves Death's Head 2. I bought this figure because, again, I have such a huge interest and following in Transformers, and Death's Head is a bounty hunter from the original Marvel UK and Marvel comic books. Death's Head is a Marvel character now, but his origins started with Transformers, and so far, this is the only Marvel Legends figure of the character of Death's Head that has ever been made. I hope in the future they make an original Death's Head Marvel Legends figure, but for now, this is all we have, and I actually did enjoy him enough that he's on the list. Now going into number 9, this one might come as a shock to some of you for being so low on the list, but this is the Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man from the No Way Home, wave of Marvel Legends figures. The only reason this guy is so low on the list is only because I don't really have that big of an interest in Amazing Spider-Man, at least when you compare him to Tobey Maguire. I really wanted to find the Tobey Maguire figure in 2023, but I wasn't able to find him, so I'll have to find him in 2024. But I still really loved this Spider-Man, and I still love this interpretation of Spider-Man, and the Andrew Garfield head sculpt looks really good. There were just other Marvel Legends I was more satisfied with, but I still liked this guy that he should have deserved to be in this list. Now going into number 8, obviously we're going to bring in the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse stuff with the Spider-Punk figure. This was my favorite figure that I picked up, and also my favorite new character from the new movie that came out in 2023. And yeah, the only issue I really have with the figure is I wish it came with an unmasked head for Robbie. I really wish Robbie had a unmasked head with with his big afro and his big hair and such. But overall, I love how this figure is. He's very, expressive. He poses really well, and I just love how the art style translated into this action figure. Very lovely. Now getting into number 7, we have the Marvel Legends Gamerverse White Spider Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2. Now, I did love this figure, but he didn't end up higher on the list because the QC issues with this figure are very high. Some of my paint chipping did come out on this figure, but it's not as bad as some people got it. But the other issue is that his bicep swivels are so loose that they feel like I could literally rip them off with one good tug, where other Marvel Legends that I own, they feel as sturdy as a rock, and like it feels like they're never going to break, where this figure feels like he has the potential to break sooner than later, and that really worries me about the plastic and the QC. And there are some poses that this guy can't really do that I wish he could pull off, but the biggest issue is there were a lot of accessories missing, like some different hands and such that I mentioned in his review. Now getting into number 6, we have the Marvel Legends X-Men 97's Wolverine. Now, some people skipped out on this figure because they already have a comic book accurate Wolverine, but the thing is, I got into Marvel Legends pretty late into the game, and so a lot of the Wolverines that were on the market were a lot of variants of Wolverine that I didn't really care about, like the one with the heated claws, or the one with the big hair from the Sugar Man Build-A-Figure wave, and like there were just so many like random Wolverines that I didn't care enough about. So when I saw that they finally came out with just a traditional comic book kind of, you know, like cartoon accurate version, I immediately knew I had to buy this Wolverine, and yeah, that's really why I really wanted him on this list. He's a fantastic figure, and I finally have a Wolverine I really wanted in my collection. Now getting into number 5. This is a figure I've wanted for the longest time, but I couldn't get it because it was a Build-A-Figure. So when the Gladiator Hulk got reissued as a, you know, just a single action figure on its own on Amazon, I knew I had to buy it as soon as it came out. And I'm very satisfied with how he came out. The only issue I really have with the figure is the helmet. It really should have been an alternate head where the helmet was molded in with the head, because honestly, the helmet looks a little too big on his face, and also it keeps falling off constantly, and I just wish it would just stay there. But overall, I still think it's a fantastic figure, and he's, you know, really big and really nice. I just wish the helmet would stop falling off. Now going into number 4. Now this figure was from a 2-pack, and the other figure is not included in this because it was Aunt May. The cartoon Dr. Octopus was absolutely fantastic. I love the bright, vibrant colors. I love the cell shading on his glasses, but the biggest draw, obviously, was the bendy wire tentacles. The bendy wire tentacles definitely made this guy one of the most enjoyable action figures I've played around with in a long time, and all throughout 2023. But number 3 was a little bit more satisfying. And I say that because number 3 goes to the Lizard Build-A-Figure. I have been trying to build this Build-A-Figure for probably like the past 6 years, and I finally managed to find Lasher and Spider-Man Noir. Those are the last 2 I needed, and I finally bought them this past year for a decent price. I finally found them for a good price, and I was finally able to put together the Lizard Build-A-Figure, and I can say that the Lizard was definitely well worth the wait. He is a fantastic Build-A-Figure. I personally love the more dinosaur-looking Lizard. I don't really like the more, you know, the like chameleon iguana looking ones from the comics and the cartoons, but like this is the Lizard I really loved, and this is the one I've always wanted, and he just did not disappoint. The criteria for number 4 also applies for number 2 here, only this time it's the No Way Home / Spider-Man 2 Dr. Octopus. Again, great bendy wire tentacles, he poses well, the action figure looks great, it looks like the character, and I can practically just hear his voice coming out of that head sculpt, and just very satisfied with this one. Just obviously I'm biased toward the movie more so than the cartoon. If the Dr. Octopus was a little bit of a tease, then you guys can expect what's in number 1. This is the Spider-Man No Way Home Deluxe Figure Green Goblin. I was very happy when I found out that the Green Goblin from No Way Home was going to be including the helmeted head, and I knew immediately I was going to have to get it. Plus, that Willem Dafoe head sculpt looks absolutely amazing, and it's a perfect expressive head sculpt. I love the glider, and just overall, I was very satisfied with this purchase, and the Green Goblin from the movies has always been my favorite interpretation of Green Goblin, and just one of my favorite supervillains in general. And because of that helmet and such, I love the fusion here between like the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man No Way Home design, which looks a little bit more closer to the comics, while also combining in the live-action one from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like, this figure is the perfect fusion, in my opinion. The only complaint, and again, it's a small nitpick, is that his neck is just a little bit exposed. But again, small complaint. So yeah, that is basically it for this video. If you guys liked it, give me a like on the video. Comment below what you guys think and what were your top 10 Marvel Legends of the year. Subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.